This is Lincoln County District Attorney Jonathan Cable, and I wanted to address the community about the officer-involved shooting in Lincoln City on April 2nd, 2020. This was a use of deadly force by Sergeant Robert Bomar of the Lincoln City Police Department, Officer Molly Worley, and Officer Hayden Tolsman. The deceased party is David Xanatos. On April 2nd, 2020, shortly after 10 p.m., Officer Tolsman with the Lincoln City Police Department observed an unknown male walk through the bushes from the Safeway parking lot into the Chinook Winds casino property. The casino was entirely closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Officer Tolsman drove to the parking lot of the casino administrative building, observed an unknown male standing near the window of that building. The male said he was looking for cigarettes. When asked, he refused to identify himself and walked back south towards the Safeway parking lot. A few moments later, as the male walked away, Officer Tolsman spoke to Chinook Winds Casino security. He was informed about a recent break-in and theft on casino property. Officer Tolsman then contacted Sergeant Bomar, and a decision was made to detain this unknown man to identify him for investigation into the trespassing and suspicious activity. Officer Tolsman drove back to the parking lot near Safeway and found the unknown man standing in front of the Rite Aid store on the south end of the parking lot. Other officers soon responded to that location. Officer Tolsman told this man he was being detained and immediately noted the handle of a large knife on the man's belt on the left side. The suspect the individual provided an Idaho driver's license number. Dispatch was able to identify him as David Xanatos, 40 years old, and that was verified comparing him to the driver's license photograph. Officers involved, including Officer Tolsman, were told that the suspect had an arrest October 19, 2018 in Pierce County, Washington for assault in the second degree, criminal trespass in the second degree, obstructing a law enforcement officer, and assault in the third degree, a person felony. On January 14, 2019, he was convicted of assault in the third degree in Pierce County Superior Court, case number 18100042421. He also had a recent arrest on February 10th, 2020 by the Gold Bar Police Department in Washington for possession of a dangerous weapon. That case was still pending at the time of this incident, and it was Snohomish County case 20-2069. And I've attached some reports from those investigations so that the 2018 and 2020 arrests, because I believe they're relevant to the suspect's behavior in this particular case. A total of 5 officers were soon present on the scene. They were positioned in a semicircle in front of the Rite Aid store. The knife, Mr. Xanatos was informed that the officers were concerned about the knife he had. ORS 166270, possession of a weapon by certain felons. The officers told him that they needed to look at this knife. And then if the knife was not prohibited, they would return it. If it was prohibited, they would give him a citation or a piece of paper and let him be on his way. Sergeant Bomar negotiated with Mr. Xanatos for approximately 20 minutes, pleading for him to put the knife down. David Xanatos refused, at one point saying, "I've grown attached to it." Officers told him over and over, please put the weapon down, that they wanted the encounter to end peacefully. Sergeant Bomar repeatedly stated, "It's not worth it, it's not worth the outcome. The best way to go with this is a peaceful way." One of the officers had a less than lethal 40mm foam launcher. It fires a hard foam projectile to disable a subject. Tasers were not an option in this case because Mr. Xanatos was wearing some very heavy clothing. He took several steps towards Sergeant Bomar. He was warned that he would be hit with the foam round if he continued. He took several more steps in Sergeant Bomar's direction. He was hit with the less than lethal foam round. Unfortunately, it didn't have the desired effect and he was not incapacitated. He bends over slightly and then immediately stands back up. He fumbles with his jacket as if he's going to take it off. He then continues to advance towards Sergeant Bomar, drawing the knife from his belt and running at Sergeant Bomar. 3 officers all fired. David Xanatos was pronounced dead by medical staff at the hospital. The district attorney's office was notified immediately, along with other members of the Lincoln County Major Crime Team. Assistance was provided by officers from the Toledo Police Department, officers from the Newport Police Department, from the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, and also the medical examiner. I responded to assist with this investigation along with 2 deputy district attorneys. In compliance with Senate Bill 111 and the Lincoln County Deadly Physical Force Plan, the Oregon State Police were contacted to conduct the bulk of the investigation. The Deadly Physical Force Plan requires that an outside agency not involved in the use of force take the lead in that investigation. Several detectives from the Oregon State Police, both locally and from Salem, responded, and they subsequently spent several weeks conducting a very thorough investigation of this matter. On Monday of this week, I received remaining videos from the Oregon State Police. I've also reviewed approximately 7 hours of body camera and dash cam footage, as well as photos, autopsy reports, and scene diagrams. I was able to listen to the interviews of all 5 officers that were present while they occurred. They all cooperated fully with this investigation. The one thing I do not know yet and do not have an answer to is I don't have the toxicology reports yet, whether drug or alcohol were used by the decedent before this incident. But those results would not impact my decision in this case. Oregon law provides that a person may use deadly physical force against another person if the person reasonably believes that the person is about to use deadly physical force against the person or someone else. And that's ORS 161-219. Additionally, the law specifically provides that a peace officer may use deadly physical force against a person or for the officer's life or public safety is or personal safety is endangered. An officer may use deadly physical force against a person if the officer's life or personal safety is endangered, and that's ORS 161-239. As the district attorney in Lincoln County, I find that the actions of all 3 officers in this case were justified under the circumstances. No crimes were committed, and this case will not be presented to the grand jury. Every loss of life is tragic, but I believe in this case, David Xanatos left the officers with no choice. I want to show you a few video clips that demonstrate why I made this decision. These include the officers deploying the less than lethal 40mm foam launcher and the shooting and what led up to it itself. It's difficult to watch, but it explains my decision. This first view that you're going to see is from Officer Worley's body camera. That'll be followed by a second view from her patrol car camera. That's the video with no sound. I have also included with this press release the reports from David Xanatos' prior contacts involving weapons with law enforcement. The reports from his conviction from the assault 3 in Washington, Tacoma, are very similar to this incident. Tacoma, Washington, are very similar to this incident. His arrest in February by the Gold Bar Police Department for having a dangerous weapon are also included. I believe this is a dangerous individual. And this is the knife that he was holding at the time of this incident. The photograph of that will be attached as well. Anytime the police use force, there are questions. In 1989, the U.S. Supreme Court case of Graham v. Connor, the court said the reasonableness of any particular use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, rather than with the 20/20 vision of hindsight. The calculousness of reasonableness must embody allowance for the fact that the police officers are often forced to make split-second judgments. I appreciate the public's patience with this matter. I understand there's been a lot of questions, but I needed to make sure that I reviewed all the available evidence before making this decision. Lastly, I'm going to include a clip that's approximately 25 minutes for those that want to see more of what led into this incident, and that will be the Officer Tolsman's body camera video. Thank you for your patience and for viewing what I've viewed in making this decision. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact me through the county's website. Thank you very much.
David, you still have that option, and it's your option. You need to choose to end this peacefully. Do you understand that? You have that power right now to make this end. We can't hear you, man. Coffee's a great option.
Coffee is good. Coffee can happen very easily if you put that knife down and walk away from it. That's all it is putting that knife down and stepping away.
Come on, David.
David.
I'm not going to shoot you in the face. We won't shoot you at all if you just put the knife down.
We do not want to shoot you.
Come on, man.
This is a high impact weapon. It hurts like hell.
It's
You
gonna
don't
hurt really
want that.
bad, but I don't
All you
wanna
have to
it.
do is slowly put the knife down.
Put the knife down and step away, please. No, it doesn't work that way. We're past that, okay? We're all committed here. Asking you please to put that knife down and step away. David, you'll get that cigarette. If you just put that knife down and step away, you'll get the cigarette.
David, stop!
Stop, David. Stop. David, don't. Don't do this, guys. Don't do this. Stop. Don't do this. Don't do this, man.
Come on, David.
The best way out of this is to put that knife down and step away.
Give a warning for the 40.
David, this is your last opportunity to put down the knife.
You gotta put that knife down.
Come on, man. I don't want to shoot you with this.
Nobody wants to get shot.
You have the option to not get shot. David!
David, back.
40, 40, 40. 40, 40, 40.
Oh, you shot me in the fall. Get
down, down.
Get down! Get down on the ground!
Down. Get down.
David, stop!
David, go!
Forty deployed. Not cooperative.
44, please proceed.
Shot fired! Shot fired!
Hello, sir. So you are being detained for trespassing. Take your hands out of your pockets. Hands out of your pockets. We are being recorded. Is that a large knife you have there on your belt? Okay, don't be reaching for that then, okay? I'm going to reach for my weapon if you reach for yours. You need to keep your hands out of your pockets. So you were trespassing on the property. You were by the window of a closed business, and you're being confrontational. It's dark out. I don't recognize you. So that's why I'm asking you to identify yourself. It depends. Where are you from? Where? Idaho. Okay. Where? You don't have any ID on you? Okay. Do you have anything with your picture on it or a credit card or anything like that? Negative? Okay. What's your last name?
X-A-N-A-T-O-S.
How do you spell that?
X-A-N-A-T-O-S.
X-A-N-A-T-O-S? Is that like half Spanish you're speaking?
X-A-N-A-T-O-S.
What does that mean?
His name is David.
I don't know what X-A-N-A means. Huh?
According to the identification, it is Carrie. First name is
David.
David. The driver's license is
WI-107 229J, and that's out of Idaho?
That is the Newport across the driver's license, you've got a state highway.
Okay.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
Generally, when I'm charged with a crime such as trespassing, I have to be actually charged by the property owner. So that
Casino security was up there right as you left, and they didn't want you on property.
that's funny because your vehicle came pulling up behind me around and came over to see me before I got on the casino property.
You were on the casino property. You were in the parking lot there.
I was in the parking lot sleeping in the locked door.
Yeah, you crossed over into the casino property. All right, I'll be right back with you. I have an Idaho DL number. Idaho DL number William Ida 107229 John.
I'll be out again.
Returns no one says status is eligible to Idaho.
Is that David?
That is David, and he's actually expired to Idaho.
Copy, are you able to get a picture?
Okay.
Can you also do a workup NGA, please?
He's a very odd man.
I can kind of see that. Is that a knife in his front right there?
Yeah, the red.
Yeah.
He's making it well known that he has it.
Okay.
He hasn't reached for it. I told him not to reach for it. He told me not to reach for my weapon.
Okay. Any idea what he's doing here?
No, I don't think I've ever seen him before.
I've never seen this guy before.
So he was first over by the Safeway bottle return when I saw him. And then he walked between the shrubs up into the parking lot where the office building was. So I went around and came up into the parking lot with my car. And at that point he was up by that window on the east side of the building. Right by the window in the cigarette container.
Yeah, that's where he should be.
Yeah, and then as he walked off, security came and pulled in. There's security right there.
His plan is
See if dispatch sent me the picture. We're still waiting on it. Yeah, it looks like him.
That's a little more official here. Call him to see if he's got any kind of felonies or anything.
Dispatch looking that up. Yeah.
Did he open it and brandish it, or is it just?
No, it was like that when I first approached him. I saw it, and then he did that where he pulls the jacket back and.
So it was concealed?
No, it was just like it is now. Like I could see the handle sticking out between the jacket. And then when I asked him about it, he put one side of his jacket over.
Yeah, give him a call, see if he's a convicted felon.
patrolsman. Hey. Any felony convictions? Was that a conviction? So far, a lot of discon, resisting arrest.
No, he's not a felon.
Yeah, they're having to look through multiple states.
I can see that he resisted.
Is there a conviction for assault 3? He was found guilty of a Class C felony, assault 3.
Alonzo.
When was the assault 3? January 19.
2019. Oh, recent.
Date of arrest was in 18, conviction was in 19? Okay. Okay, what state was that? Oregon? Okay. Anything in Oregon? Okay. And so so the felony was out of Washington then? Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, because the felony out of Washington, found guilty, arrested in 18, convicted in 19. So I guess we just got to decide how far we want to take it.
It's going to be a confrontation.
Yeah, because he's got lots of history of resisting, disorderly conduct, interfering.
So, if you want to make that call, I'm going to make sure I get this for you correct. Okay?
But we got to be able to take him to jail. I mean, that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
I don't think they would take him on that.
Felon in possession of a weapon.
Take him to the PD and have him sit there while we do paperwork.
Well, we're going to find him. That's what we don't want to do. The other thing too is, what if we could just give him an opportunity to surrender that weapon with just a citation? That's another way of doing it. You can drop that weapon and just go with just a citation.
Okay.
Being a felon in possession of a weapon.
We can go that. Try that.
Try it.
All right, David. So the only thing that came back, it sounds like you were convicted of a felony in Washington in 19. Okay. So that makes me concerned about the weapon you have in your belt. It does. Yeah, it looks like it's a straight blade though. And depending on the blade size, you can't have that as a felon. That's not relevant. So what I'm offering is if you surrender that weapon to us, we will get you out of here with a citation if it is not legal for you to have. We'll give you a citation and let you be on your way. If it's not legal. Well, the alternative, I don't want to do any alternatives. I'd rather just go that route with you. You still can't have the knife, though, if it's illegal.
You need to check the knife, see if it's legal for you to carry. So, option A is it's legal to give it back.
How about we do this? Now you set the knife down, you step back away, let us take a look at it.
Take it back to 10.
How about we do this? How about you set the knife down, you let us take a look at it, and then we'll go from that point.
After ambush and encounter, there's not a shit chance of that.
What's
Can't
that?
hear you, sorry, man.
After the shit that I've seen in this town and still people have said to me, there's not a chance in hell.
There's not a chance in hell you what?
Not a chance in hell. I'm gonna take my knife off. So,
Why don't you want to take your knife off?
because it is useful as a tool. So, I can go, I can put stuff back, and probably peacefully, you don't have to, obviously not under arrest for anything and stuff.
Right now, you're being legally and lawfully detained, man. Well, we don't want this to escalate any more than what it is. A life isn't worth it, right?
Actually,
It's not
it
worth
is.
it, man.
It's worth it.
It's really not worth it.
It is.
So it's worth to go in a confrontation with us over that night?
If you're trying to decide me after ambushing me and lying about how you ambushed me when you did it, there's something wrong. So,
I'm not lying.
Nobody's lying to you. We're trying to work with you on this.
parking lot in Safeway, waited till I went to one of the only places in town where cigarettes had a cigarettes in the back and lied about it and said the security guard had reported me.
I didn't say he reported you. I said he drove in after I did.
I literally just wrapped up that thing 10 seconds before. So something seems a little bit fishy. To be honest with you.
Okay, so what's the plan with the blade?
Take it, go back to camp, we all walk
Not gonna
around
happen.
with things happen.
That's not gonna happen, okay? Okay, what you need to do is you need to set it down. And step away from it, please. Until we can decipher from that point, okay? Being a convicted felon and having a knife of that magnitude is illegal.
Actually, not.
And your state of mind right now, David, is pretty concerning. Okay?
520, he's still refusing to drop the knife. Go chat with Gary here. So this guy's got a huge knife on him. He is the one I found up by your building.
Right, and he was
So we gotta-
looking in the windows.
We figured out who he is at this point, but he's a felon and he's got a big blade on him.
Can I get his name?
Yeah, I'll get that to you here.
Okay.
I couldn't understand what his last name was, but he gave me his deal, his driver's license number.
Okay.
So we have that.
You ran that.
Yeah, and I got a picture of him and confirmed that's who he is. I don't know what his last name is. I know it's David something. So I'll come back with you.
All right.
We're trying to get him to drop the
I'll
knife so
stand
far.
back, yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the outcome. It's not worth it. The peaceful way is the best way to go. And that's the only way we can do it. Step, pull it out, step away from it. Set it down, step away. And then this all ends peacefully.
It's custom. It actually,
So exactly how do you want to see this turn out? Is that knife worth it?
what I would really, really like if you guys would just say, look, he uses this tool for cooking and he uses it more than he can. This, in which case, I'll walk away, I'll go get some coffee at the service station, I'll get hungry and stuff, I'll go look for a cigarette and then I'll go back to the house.
So you walk away and then you get into a confrontation with somebody and you use that knife. My career, our careers go away. That's not gonna happen.
David, you already told us you have it because you're worried about people in this town. That tells us that you don't just have it for cooking. And it doesn't matter what you use it for currently. It matters what the law says about that blade. We don't have the option to walk away right now.
And your conviction is for a person crime.
So that's really the best way.
Best way to handle this is set it on the ground, step away from it. That's the best way. Right now we're going low key with you. We're doing everything low key. Okay, you don't see guns pointed at you, alright? We're trying to talk to you. We're just trying to talk this through.
So, assuming I were to set this down, what benefit?
What's that?
What benefit?
You step away from it,
Just back away, let us.
and then we go from there.
We're not there. Okay?
All right, so what are we gonna do? I'm not going to do something.
Get the 40, please. I'm asking you for compliance, sir. I've been asking you for compliance, and I'm actually negotiating with compliance. Okay? That's all we're doing. I'm asking you to drop that knife and step away. I think that you're kind of a dangerous man, and I think that you're a threat, and I don't want that. Okay? We don't want that.
Yep.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it, dude. It's not worth it. We don't want to shoot you with anything. We just want you to drop the knife and step away. Okay? That's all we want you to do. Drop the knife and step away. Because it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. I don't want to shoot you at all. I don't. I got to protect myself. I'm asking you. I'm pleading for you to drop that knife and step away. That's all I'm asking you. Pardon me? I do have a gun out, yes. I'm not pointing it at you, but I do have my firearm out. You have a knife. You have a very big one. Okay? Please, I'm asking you, sir, step away. Drop the knife and step away. We don't want to do this with you. You don't want to do this. This is not worth it. It's not worth it.
That's the casino security. That's the casino security I was telling you about. We're hoping that you drop the knife.
We're asking you please to drop the knife. Step away from it. That's it. It's simple. It goes peacefully that way. We're asking you.
Somehow I'm unlikely to believe it's going to go peacefully either way. That's the problem.
I can assure you, if you cooperate, we will cooperate with you and nobody will get hurt.
That's it. Nobody wants to get hurt here. We don't want to hurt you. We do not want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you, man, okay? It's just it. David, just set the knife down and walk away, step away from it. Then we go from there. It doesn't happen that way.
No.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Right now. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Get on the ground now, David.
Get on the ground. Come on. It's not worth it. Please. It's not worth it. The knife is not worth it. Come on, man. Cooperate. We're not trying to hurt you. Get on the ground. We don't want to hurt you.
One at gunpoint.
Get on the ground. David, get on the ground. Get on the ground. I don't want to shoot
We don't want to shoot you. We all want to go home.
We don't want to hurt
Continue.
you. Please don't do this. Please don't do this.
We have one pointed at him already.
David, please don't do this. Come on, David. Work with us, man. No one will hurt you.
A custom knife is not worth your life.
It's not
There's more
worth it.
custom knives.
It's
You
not
go
worth
in
it.
them
We will work
too.
with you. It's not worth it. Get on the ground, please. Drop the knife and step away from it. Come on, David. It's not worth it, David. Drop the knife and step away from it. Please do that for us. This ends peacefully. We want this to end peacefully. We really want this to end peacefully. Let's go.
David, you still have that option, and it's your option. You need to choose to end this peacefully. Do you understand that? You have that power right now to make this end. We can't hear you, man.
I want some cover. What point are we going with the 40 here?
Coffee's a great option.
Chairman's call you out of position. You probably should go here. I'm gonna swap with him.
Okay.
That's all it is. Putting that knife down and stepping away.
You ready for 40?
Come on, David. I'm not going to shoot you in the face. We won't shoot you at all if you just put the knife down. Come on, man.
This is a high impact weapon. It hurts like hell.
It's going to hurt really bad. And I don't want to do it.
All you have to do is slowly put the knife down.
Put the knife down and step away clean. No, it doesn't work that way. We're past that, okay? We're all committed here. Asking you please to put that knife down and step away.
What are you thinking for?
Upper right leg.
Yeah, right in the thigh.
I'm worried it's going to hit his hand though. Oh well.
That's not. That's.
David, stop!
Stop, David. Stop. David, don't.
When you get a good shot. Yell it out though before you shoot.
Come on, David.
You have a good shot?
Yep.
Best way out of this is to put that knife down and step away.
We're going to take it here in about 5 seconds.
Okay. Yell 40 and shoot him. 40, 40, 40.
David, this is your last opportunity to put down the knife.
Not put that knife down.
Come on, man. I don't want to shoot you with this.
You have the option.
Stay back from him, David. Stay back.
40, 40, 40. 40, 40, 40.
Get down now. Get down. Get down. Get down.
David, stop!